Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry Grisenko and in this video I want to show you some interesting and very rare opening in chess, and this is Deutz Gambit. So what is Deutz Gambit? At first this is standard Italian game, so e4 first move for white, and now e5, next is knight f3 for black, and black plays for white, and black plays knight c6, then bishop c4, bishop c5, castle king size, knight f6, and now in this position, of course, main move for white, this is knight c3 or maybe d3, even better maybe. But also white can play a very interesting move, and this is d4. This is d4, and in this position black can capture this pawn with his pawn, with his knight, and with his bishop. Let me show you all of the variations. At first knight d4, and after knight d4, of course, white can capture knight e5, and after castle king size, because white threats knight f7, then white has bishop e3 move, and it is slightly better for white. So let's go back to the 5 move. Next opportunity for black, it is e takes d4, and after e takes d4 we can play e5 for white, and after d5 e takes e5, b takes c4, f takes g7. We can see Max Lange attack, very interesting and very aggressive variation for white, and after rook g8, rook e1, bishop e6, bishop g5, bishop e7, and some more theory in this position. We can see, if we go to database, we can see many games on Masters database, or even on DCS, more than 4,000 games after bishop e7. But let's go back now. Let's go back to the 5 move, and of course black can simply win in this pawn with bishop d4 move. Next one, white captured this bishop, knight d4, and after knight d4 bishop g5, and this is a pin. So h6, bishop a4, h4, and now in this position, of course, black can play g5. This is very aggressive and principal move, but I think that d6, this is a more powerful move for black. And if white plays similar f4, the next one is, for example, castle king size, simply move, and after f takes e4, bishop f6, g take f6. So let me show you what Stockfish can do in this position, and we can see some of advantage of white, but this is +1. Of course, black can play another way. For example, after d6, after f4 for white, black can play bishop g4, and the idea is going to the endgame. For example, bishop f6, bishop d1, bishop d8, rook d8, rook d1, knight c2, knight c3, and after knight a1, rook a1, we can see that black has rook and 2 pawns for the knight and bishop. Let me show you Stockfish this position, and this is about 0, so this is equal position maybe. And after e takes f4, for example, knight d5, and king d7 to protect the c7 pawn. Of course, white must take this pawn on f6, f4, and after rook h to e8, bishop d3, and rook e5 and rook f1, we can see interesting position with equal chances. So let's go back, and of course black can play this move d6. Let's go to database. So in database we can see g5 and d6 move on DChess, and on master's database this is g5 and d6 true, but g5 this is a very risky opportunity for black, because after g5 white cannot do bishop d3 move, and he can play f4. And what is the key idea for white? Why this is very strong move? Because after g takes f4, we can see that white has rook f4 move, and in this position is +7 for white, because after e takes f4, because black must take this rook. After queen d4, black cannot defend his knight on f6, and we can see a double pin on this diagonal, h4 to d8, and on this diagonal with the queen, diagonal g4 to h8, and this is a completely winning position for white. Of course, black must take this rook in this position, and if after f4 black does not want to take this pawn on f4, of course he can play g takes h4, but after f takes e5 we can see that white attacking both knight and also pawn on f7 with bishop and with the rook, and we can see that of course in this position after g5 black has some counter chances. For example, e takes d5, knight takes d5, queen g4, bishop e6, and you can see that maybe in this position white don't win in some moves, but of course we can see that white has some advantages because of weak black wings. So interesting gambit, Deutz gambit after d4 in this position, and we can see that black has bishop d4, e takes d4, and knight d4 moves for master's database, and also for DChess database, and bishop d4. This is a strong move, but after knight d4, bishop g5, but f4, this is also a good opportunity for white. But after bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, you can see that g5, this is not the best solution for black, and I think that d6 is more powerful move. Let me show you that d6, yes, this is the first line according to the chess. So I hope that you enjoy my review about Italian game Deutz Gambit. Goodbye and see you next time.